Anyone can become a millionaire, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. The key, though, is to understand it's so easy that it's difficult. We're in a massive transition right now from industrial to technical, Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, an old archaic banking system, a centralized banking system, to a decentralized system. And if you could take 20 minutes a day to study this at a deep level, understanding how the monetary system actually works, inflationary US dollar that makes you poor every single year, and they're about to devalue this dollar like crazy, and a deflationary system that's coming in, things like Bitcoin and XRP that have fixed supplies, and you start to understand how to create a budget, how to become disciplined, understanding dollar cost averaging, over the next 6 years, you could be the person that becomes a generational shifter in your family. How can I rightfully say that? We did it. From 2020, when they shut our business down, I finally drew a line in the sand. I became more committed to the pain of change and staying the same, and I worked to do everything to rewire my brain. I studied the Federal Reserve, that it's not federal nor is it reserve, which I'm going to show you a very cool video that's going viral right now that breaks it down at a very deep level. I'm going to show you a tweet from Robert Kiyosaki where he talks about Bitcoin and how easy it's become. But that's the problem. It's so easy that it's difficult because you're deeply, deeply indoctrinated into a system that teaches you to go to school, get a job, trade time for money, put it into a 401k, and hope that by the time you retire, that you'll be able to take care of your family. Hope is not a strategy. It's time to take sovereignty of your wealth. It's time to understand decentralization. It's time to study the infrastructural change. And I'm going to give you some warnings. There is no get rich quick. Stay out of the meme coin casino, stay out of the hype train, and start to study what the real money is doing. Create a budget, create a plan, stick to it in the next 6 years, and you could be the one, just like we were, to transform our families' lives. All right, so let's dive right in. So the first video I'm going to show you, it is going absolutely viral right now. This was posted by Opportunity Cost. It says the greatest scam in history, the creation of the Federal Reserve. I highly, highly recommend, as you're educating yourself, to read the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island. I went to CBA Executive Banking School. I was an executive banker. I understand banking at a deep level. The banking system, okay, is all a Ponzi scheme. They can print money. You can't. It's not backed by anything. The whole system is debt. And this is how it all started.
Jekyll Island, November 1910. 7 bankers meeting in secret to create America's central bank. We just can't call it that.
The 1907 panic nearly destroyed us. Banks failed, fortunes vanished.
We want to control America's money supply, create booms, trigger busts, and profit from both. And how will we do that?
We'll create money from nothing, loan it to the government, and charge interest. Legal counterfeiting, my friends.
But there's a cost. Every dollar we print steals value from existing dollars. It's a hidden tax that flows directly to us.
And it gets worse. If we ever get off the gold standard, governments can print money for wars. Endless wars become possible and profitable.
Since Americans hate central banks, we'll call it the Federal Reserve. Sounds governmental, doesn't it? It's not.
The president will appoint board members, but we'll pick who he appoints. We'll have 12 regional banks. Looks decentralized, democratic even. But New York banks control them all. That's us.
You're probably wondering how we're going to get this through Congress.
December 23rd, 1913. Most of Congress home for Christmas. Perfect timing for passing unpopular legislation.
I'll publicly oppose our own bill in Congress. They'll pass it thinking they beat Wall Street. We'll fund university chairs, write the textbooks. They'll teach our system as economic science. Beautiful. Every American born after this will inherit debt on money we created from nothing. Generational servitude. The Federal Reserve. Not federal, no reserves. But everyone will think it's their government protecting them.
Good afternoon.
Take the Fed out of your life. Robert Kiyosaki posted yesterday, anyone can become a millionaire. I can't believe how Bitcoin makes becoming rich so easy. Bitcoin is pure genius asset design. No mess, no stress. Just set it and forget it. I made my first millions in real estate. That took hard work, lots of risk, lots of money, lots of time, and many sleepless nights. Question: if you say it's so easy to become a millionaire with Bitcoin, then why are there so many millions of poor people? Good question. I wonder myself. I did not know how brilliantly Satoshi had designed Bitcoin until I did a little study, invested a few dollars, and set it, forget it. And now has it grown into several $1,000,000. Easiest millions I've ever made. Okay. Now I'm going to share from you my personal living experience. Okay. I think it's very important that we speak from truth and authenticity. I can only share with you what I have done. And we've helped 12,000 people worldwide. There's been people from 2020 that have followed my patterns and have become millionaires. I personally became a millionaire in the asset class and a millionaire outside of the asset class. But I agree 1000% with his tweet. I have 6 companies. One of my companies took me almost 7 years to make it a 7-figure company. I cashed out my 401k. I had to sell my dream home. I drained my savings. I worked for 4 years, 2017, 2018, 2019, almost 4 years, with almost no income. I lost everything. And then I finally started to make money in 2019, going into 2020. Our facility next door, which is one of our companies, the Warrior Academy, exploded, right? The physicality of it. And as soon as it exploded, I got introduced to crypto. I started investing in this asset class. Okay, very important. I'm going to walk you through the whole story. I started investing. I got introduced to XRP. My first investment was around $3,000 in the early 2020. Okay, life looked very good. Built my company to 6 figures over there. The facilities of Warrior Academy. Our first one was Warrior Academy. It's built in this massive ecosystem, but basically it was a gym model, warrior training, mindset, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision creation, budgeting, things like that. So we come into the pandemic and they shut my business down. They took away my ability to take care of my family. And I said, never again. Absolutely not. So then I started to take people through the process of me losing everything in the physical where I couldn't have any income coming in. And I made it my commitment to never, ever put my family in that position again. Now, by that time, I had $30,000 in crypto. Okay, I'd gone from $3,000 to about $30,000 in crypto in 2020. And right when the pandemic started to hit, because I started stuffing my money in there, okay, because I believe in this asset class. How fast we became millionaires in crypto absolutely blew my mind. Remember, took me 7 years for my first ecosystem. Lost everything in the process. And in crypto, I became a millionaire within the first couple years. Think about that for just a moment. Now, here's the thing. I was disciplined. I was extremely consistent. I created a budget. So as my income increased, I created cash flowing businesses. As I profited from the asset class, I didn't just sit there and watch my portfolio go up and down. I took some off the top and I built an ecosystem. I realized because the Federal Reserve is not federal, nor are they reserve, they can print money in a low interest rate environment that's going to be coming up once again. They can create inflation. They get you through taxation or inflation, which is illegal taxation. Okay. They'll lower your taxes, but they'll inflate the shit out of your money. So you're always losing. And if you're not in debt, then the system can't continue. Rich people use leverage to become wealthier, debt, and poor people use debt to borrow against their future self without the increased income to become poor. So I wanted to get my family on the other side of the quadrant. So we started to focus on cash flow, investing our cash flow in deflationary assets, hence Bitcoin and XRP, my top 2 holdings. Number 3 is stuffing it into cash value life insurance. And ideally, and ironically, in 1913, when the Federal Reserve was created, which is a group of bankers, it's not federal nor reserve, tax code 7702A was created, which allows people to borrow against insurance policies tax-free. Is that ironic? And I use that strategy in cash value life insurance. I like index universal life, but it's like driving a Lamborghini. You have to understand how to drive the car properly. Okay. And then number 4 is leverage. So I have cash flow coming from multiple companies now. Okay. I have cash flow coming from cash generating dividends. That cash flow every single month outside the debts and non-negotiables goes into deflationary assets that have a fixed supply that continue to appreciate over time. I'm storing my money, my cash, which is trash, in things like Bitcoin and XRP. Okay. Then when I hit the bull run every single month, I'm putting money into my insurance premiums. When I hit the bull run, when we're heading to the back of this year, I have 2 more policies I need to max fund. We have 11 policies combined with me and my partner and our family. Our kids have family banks. I'm stuffing money into those insurance policies. Because remember, number 4 is leverage. So now I'm building. So first phase was getting rich, financially free. You can mess that up. I'm always going to be very transparent with you guys. You guys can screw that up. Okay, 0 to 5 million, you can mess up very, very easily. I can make a really bad business decision. I could start blowing my money, buying shit I can't afford to impress people I don't like. Okay, the next phase is getting up into the 8 figures. Okay, when you get into the 8 figures, you got to have a badass ecosystem, because when you get to that 8 figures, that's when you can start to really accelerate this. And that's what you can do. If I did it, you can do it. I had $30,000, $3,000 I started with, $30,000 in crypto. I didn't buy bullshit with my crypto profits. I bought businesses. We expanded. We invested in companies, and we built our companies and built cash flow. And now I built the ecosystem, and now I'm funding and feeding the ecosystem. So imagine now we're going into the big time bull run on the back end this year. So I'll have massive price appreciation from the disciplined dollar cost average, from buying the dips, going into crypto when everybody's running from crypto, selling when everybody's celebrating. We're doing the opposite of the 99%. I pull when everybody's celebrating, trying to get rich quick, and I buy when everybody's running. When everybody's running from the fire, I'm running into the fire. Okay. And then every single time I get paid, it's either going into cash generating dividends, which create cash flow. Okay. Or it's going into deflationary assets that are going to grow. Okay. And every month I'm pumping my premiums. And then when I get big liquidity events, which I call a liquidity event, when crypto skyrockets, that's a liquidity event. I'm pumping money into my cash value. Now, why would I do that? Because it's richest man in Babylon. I'm creating leverage. So I have a Bitcoin bank now, and I have an insurance bank. So as you go up and down in the markets, I'm creating leverage. I can multiply my money. So if I put $1 into crypto and I made $10, okay, I'm taking some off the table. I'm profiting. People, I don't like the word exit. I like profit plan. I'm taking profit because I turned $1 into 10. Take the profit off the table. Okay. I'm taking that profit. I'm richest man in Babylon in it. I'm putting into insurance policies. I'm putting some into something that's going to generate cash, whether it's a business, whether it's a dividend. Okay. Then with the insurance policy on this side, I now can multiply that money. I can borrow against the insurance company to do what? To create more cash flow, to buy more deflationary assets. Now I turned $1 into 10, created a brother or sister, borrowed against the brother or sister to repeat the process. Then we have 2 components of leverage. I have my Bitcoin bank, which I gave you guys a specific example, where I borrowed from my Bitcoin just not too long ago. Well, I think April this year. Gosh, it's going by fast. So April this year, I did very, very low leverage on my Bitcoin. So I took a certain amount of my Bitcoin, I transferred it over to a DeFi platform. I was the bank. I borrowed low leverage to buy my insurance firm. Okay, my insurance firm is already cash flowing. I only leverage if I can buy cash flow because I need to pay that back. So they gave me tax-free money at 14%. Remember, loans are tax-free. Okay, they gave me their money at 14%. Okay, so I'm paying them back 14% on the money that I borrowed. But remember, I'm making 50% every year on my Bitcoin through appreciation. So I made 36% on my insurance firm. When it's paid off, I made money on borrowing to buy my insurance firm. We got to start thinking differently, because that's what they created for us. Did you hear what they said? The education system indoctrinated you. It's on purpose. It teaches you how to be enslaved in debt. It teaches you how to trade time for money. It teaches you how to, put money into a 401k, and it teaches you how to just do these small little things. It teaches you how to be unsovereign with your wealth. You have to be the one to rewire the system. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take ruthless boundary setting. It's going to take ignoring all the noise. And I'll tell you what, Get out of the get rich quick. Lock in for 6 years, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. Boom, you're going to hit the bull run. 2026 and beyond, you will now be the millionaire in your family. And then you start to build. Okay. You can get the fun stuff later. I've been telling you guys a story just so you guys know that wasn't my boat. That was Johnny Crypto's boat. Best thing is have a friend with a boat, right? I'm getting a boat next year that will not be bought by my family's money. It will be bought by an asset. Why did I wait so long? I could have bought it in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Could definitely buy it this year easily. But I'm damn well not taking my family's money to buy toys. I'm going to create memories and buy a boat very, very, very soon, actually, with an asset. I will take the cash. Okay, I'll put it into probably a policy. I'll borrow against the policy. I'll buy a dividend. I'll go use the bank's money. I'll allow the dividend to pay off the bank loan. Very important. You got to get disciplined. Men, I'm talking to you. Head of household, I'm talking to you. Women who are head of household and the men aren't stepping in, I'm talking to you. This is your time. You don't need 2 cars. You don't need a $900 car payment. Okay. You don't need some big ass house right now because you're going to get a liquidity event on the back end of this year. And $1 million is not, it feels like a lot of money if you've never had it. 100,000 feels like a lot if you've never had it. 200,000 feels like a lot if you've never had it. Okay. $1 million, you can screw up really fast. 5 million takes a little bit more effort, but you can screw that up. That's rich. Okay. Wealthy is when you start to get to the 10 million. And then you have 5 that you have fully invested. That's just compounding. You have 5 that you can mess with a little bit. We're wanting to get to that 20 million and above. That's the next level. That's when you're in the family offices and you're having teams manage your money. Okay. That's how we need to think. And we have to take out the fact that it's not a physicality thing. It's an energy. It's a vibration. If you can't accept the abundance as your truth, and if you've never had wealth, and you have to rewire your brain, if you're the first one in your family, you have to rewire your brain. Because if you don't, guess what? My CFO says it the best. If you have bad habits at $30,000 a year, you're going to have really, really, really bad habits at $1 million. And you're going to start to see this, mark my word, on Twitter. You're going to start to see the Lambos and the toys and all the stuff. And I guarantee it's bought with their crypto profits. And I guarantee you that 99% of those people will lose it all in the bear market. So this is the abundance that's coming. When the abundance comes, you build a storehouse. That's biblical. When you build the storehouse, you make sure that it feeds the family. And when it feeds the family and everybody's taken care of, and only when you get to that point, do you start buying the stuff, the fun stuff. And the fun stuff should be bought with OPM, other people's money and assets. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I wanted to share with you guys as well. You're seeing videos out there with like price predictors. There's people using my content. I'll never WhatsApp you. I'll never Telegram you. I'll never proactively DM you. We do not invest people's crypto. Those are all scammers. Okay. Report, delete them. We actually hired a team. We're spending thousands of dollars a month working to combat this the best way we can. Social media platforms don't do anything about it. So we're actually hired a team and we're spending thousands of dollars. We take it very seriously. Okay. Just know, don't contact anybody on WhatsApp. Telegram, I am not contacting you. Okay. We have education platforms. You can go down the description of this video. You'll see the Warrior Academy. You can book a call with my team. It's an education platform. Okay. We teach you how to fish. It's in my social media platform. Click the link. I also have my Freedom Insurance team. If you need any support around cash value life insurance, I have an elite team that teaches you how to drive these policies properly. Okay, you need to set them up properly. So I have all the resources you need. And I also have all this free education on my YouTube channel. We just want to make sure you stay safe out there. Love you guys. Appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.